Hey girl, we're back. I actually think I'm back for good, consistently, and actually going to be committed to this journey with you guys. I just feel so bad that I let go of something that meant so much to me, and I'm just so excited to give you a full update. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to share all the tea and just to impart a few pieces of wisdom just from my experiences that I think are going to help you as you kind of launch into this new season of your life. So, hello, my name is Eliana. On this channel, we talk about all things God, fashion, beauty, style, food, nutrition, wellness, just anything that's going to make sure that you're becoming your best self under God's eyes. And I have been away for a long time. So let me update you on everything that's been going on. First, I want to make sure that you know what I'm wearing today and all of my little jewelry pieces and everything today. So I recently got this infinity necklace from Swarovski, but I got it at a really good discount on Amazon, so I'm going to put the link in the description. I also got this bracelet here during the Mother's Day sale at Kohl's. I'll put the link there as well. And I really don't have too much makeup today. I did a little bit on my look at my nails. I didn't get my nails done. I took a little bit of my edge control and just put that on my brows today and filled them out. I haven't really been keeping up with my eyebrows because I was talking with my partner, with my man, and he really encouraged me to kind of just grow them out. And I've never done that a day in my life, but I actually love them, and I think they keep me really youthful and just appreciating my natural beauty. So I have just a lip today, no facial foundation, anything like that, just my normal skincare routine, which I will link down below. With CeraVe, I've been using their acne wash a little bit. Been having a little bit of hyperpigmentation, so that's been really clearing up my skin. And then I've been using a retinol consistently from CeraVe, and I'll put a link down below as well. My lip combo is really simple and really easy. It's literally just this Maybelline New York matte stick. I think it's the matte lipstick in color Crazy for Coffee. It's like a creamy, nice lipstick. And then I just have been lining my lips with the Revlon Color Stay Long Wear Lip Liner. My top today is from our friends at TA3. I've been working with them for about 2 years now. I have a couple swimsuits from them that I absolutely love, but they shared with us a new product from their line. It's kind of like their everyday wear line. It's called the Drapey Off-Shoulder Corset Top, and I'll give you like a little montage here of what this looks like and how I would style it. So let's get into this update, girl. Okay, so I don't even know where to start. I think I'm gonna start at my birthday in November when I was in Paris. So I took a birthday trip to work with a brand, a Parisian brand. They're kind of like an active streetwear brand. And I was there for about 4 or 5 days, and it was over my birthday weekend, which was absolutely fabulous. I turned 27, and it was kind of like this ode to a beginning of a closing of my 20s. And I had such a beautiful time, just all the scenery and all of the lights and just the food and the energy. Paris is a place that I've loved for so many years, for so many different reasons, but it's been able to really help me open my mind and my perspective to how other people live. And why is that so important? Because it allows us to expand our thought process on our own perception of life and our own perception of how we kind of integrate with other people, how we have intrapersonal skills and interpersonal skills. So one thing I love about Parisians is that a lot of the time they kind of stay in their own lane. They're not really worried about what other people think. They're kind of just going through life, doing life as they want with little to no judgment of others. And if they do, no one else cares how they're being judged. I think here in the States, we are hyper fixated on how people view us and the image that we have in other people's eyes, and that causes a lot of insecurity because it's so hard to please everybody. But when I travel and when I explore, I gain that sense of confidence and I gain that sense of self, because I know that my little realm in the States is not how everybody lives their life. It's really cool to see how religion and faith has kind of evolved in other countries. In Paris, there's these beautiful cathedrals, and even in Spain you have these large cathedrals that were built on the backs of slaves, and just the stories behind how a lot of these fixtures were curated and just how culture was developed. If you are someone that is just trying to find a way to reinvent yourself, or thinking about how you can get out of this kind of continual mindset that maybe you're not good enough, or that people are constantly judging you, or people are just have this like microscope over your life, it's probably time for you to take a vacation and travel and explore and see something new, even if it's just a different city outside of your state, or even if it's just booking a solo trip to the local biggest city that's closest to you, just to get away and experience something different in your womanhood. Book yourself a nice restaurant, eat nice food, go see a play, go see a show. Like, even before you get into a relationship, or before you start thinking about like partnerships and things like that, and you're in your mid-20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, however old, you need to take time for yourself to travel, period. So I took my little trip. I came back. I was feeling good. I was just in a good space in my life. I had spent some time with my cousin, and we were out one night. This was maybe like towards the middle of November when I came back, and she was just like, "Girl, I really wanted to introduce you to somebody." And I'm like,
"Okay. Whatever that means."
Like, who is it? Like, who you trying to introduce me to? So she FaceTimes her friend, and he gets on the phone, and he introduced himself, and I was just like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he was like, "I'm good." And then he was like, "What y'all about to get into?" And she was like, "Well, I'm about to meet up with my friend and take my cousin. We're gonna go to Dave & Buster's." So the way I tell the story is, he saw my face on FaceTime, and then he forwarded to Dave & Buster's, and we just been connected ever since. I say all that to say, I ended the year on a really special note, but it definitely came with some trials and some tribulations, which I'm going to get into in this video. And I really want this video to help you realize that everybody's going through the same thing. Like, I am no better than you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm no better than anybody else. Everything that I've experienced was for a reason, and I'm still working on things, and there's still things that, I'm hoping that the tips and tricks that I learn are going to help you in your journey too. So as I started the new year, obviously, like, I was still, working. I kind of was slowing down on my modeling because I just felt like I was overextending my time, and I didn't have enough time for myself and for my family and my friends and my relationships. So I kind of scaled back on things that I felt like I needed to reimagine. And what I mean by that is, there were certain people in the industry that started to make me feel like they weren't always looking out for me, or their decisions were affecting the way that I made my own decisions in my own life. Remember that the 5 closest people with whom you associate are basically who you become. So that's why they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If I'm associating myself with people that are pretentious, or they think that they're better than other people, or they're taking advantage of people, or they're not looking out for you, I'm going to become that person, and I didn't want to become that person. A lot of people also don't want to be saved. So if you're interacting with a friend and they're making choices and decisions that you don't agree with, and they continuously make those decisions, it's really hard to love them up close. Sometimes you have to love them from afar. But when you love people from afar, sometimes they will show you their true colors, and you'll just have to accept them for who they are and let them do their thing. God has an ordained path for you. Not everybody's going to be on that path. And you have to remember that. And it's hard, especially if it's like a friendship breakup and you don't really get a lot of closure, or, it's a relationship and you kind of have to let go of certain things, or maybe a family member starts treating you differently. And now you have to kind of think and say, okay, what is the meaning of family? And I was just talking to my mom about this. Family is not always blood. It's the people that make you become your best self. It's the people that are going to look out for you. It's the people that want to pour into you. It's the people that want to see you shine and want to see you smile every single day. That's your family. And this community, hopefully you feel that. Hopefully you feel an inviting place to be your most authentic self, because that's what family's about, and that's what I want to nurture here on this channel. I've been cooking a lot. I've been trying to work on my diet. I just saw my primary care doctor. Highly recommend this year that if you're trying to level up, you focus on your health and wellness. Not just your mental health, but also your physical health. When you look good, you feel good, okay? Period. I don't care what anybody says. It might sound materialistic, whatever, but when you look the part, you feel the part, you feel confident. You don't let people run all over you. You're not crying yourself to sleep every night. It just doesn't happen because you're that girl and you believe it, but in a humble way. So I went to go see my primary care doctor fairly recently, and like my lipid levels were a little bit elevated. I had some issues also with my thyroid, like hyperthyroidism. So I'm going to be sharing kind of my health journey in terms of really getting myself healthy and fit and active. I've always been pretty like active. I danced my whole life. I played soccer, I did all the things, but I haven't really been in a consistent gym and diet disciplined routine in a long time. So that's part of this kind of summer journey for me, and that glowing up journey for me. So I'm definitely going to be sharing my tips with you. But if you have any tips that kind of help you stay aligned on your health or wellness journey, definitely leave them below, because I would absolutely appreciate it. So I think, this first half of the year, as we're kind of at like a mid-year check-in point, right? It's about how do we stay consistent and disciplined in this next chapter together, because I don't want to go another 6 months without talking to y'all. I don't want to go another 6 months without making, enriching, enlightening, informational, and inspiring content. Like, I want to inspire you to become your best self. Like, my purpose in life is to influence and inspire people to achieve anything that they want to, because you have it within you. You just need somebody to help you along the way. That's it. I've been thinking a lot about the type of woman that I want to be. And if you're the type of woman that feels like you're a boss babe, or you're very accomplished in your life, or you have a lot of things that you've done that you're very proud of, and you take pride in making a decent amount of money, having your own place, being independent, having your own, I want to let you know that if you are seeking a partnership, or if you are seeking God to deliver you into this next level perspective in your life, you will have to adopt a sense of accountability and self-respect. You may think that you have self-respect and you may think that you have accountability, but I would challenge you to say, when is the last time that you were in a conversation with someone and you said, I understand that I do this and I will work on it. I understand that I messed up and I apologize sincerely. I recognize that you were right. If you say those words out loud right now to yourself, if you pause this video and you say those words out loud right now, I can guarantee you they probably feel foreign. It probably feels like the weirdest thing, because we as women find ourselves in a lot of positions where we've ascended this corporate ladder, or we've done a lot of really great things, or we've had a lot of really good accomplishments, but we haven't taken the step back to fully realize that God wants to humble you in this season. And he wants you to stop pointing the finger at everybody else, and he wants you to point the finger at yourself and determine the things that you need to improve upon. And this is just tough love. This isn't meant to put you down. This isn't meant to make you feel away. This is just the truth. Accountability is so crucial. How can I tell you to do something if I'm not doing it myself, right? I know for a fact that I let you down by not showing up. I've had people in my DMs, I've had people in real life come up to me and say, "Hey, Liana, what happens to the videos? Like, what happens to the content? You're so creative. Like, what's going on? Like, where'd you go? Who are you?" It's really because I did not prioritize balance, and I didn't take accountability to be disciplined and consistent. Discipline is so hard. Consistency is so hard. But what we're going to talk about today is habit stacking and making sure that as we think through what we want to accomplish, we habit stack or bundle tasks to make sure it gets done. So, for example, I know for a fact that I wanted to clean up the apartment today because, girl, we about to move. About to talk about that in a second. But I really wanted to film today, but I wanted to film in a clean space where my space was clear, so therefore my head was clear, therefore I could talk to you and I could provide really enriching insight on our topics for today. And that wasn't going to happen unless I cleaned up the apartment and got my set out and put my stand up and got everything and lighting and everything ready to go. So what did I do? I took an hour and a half to just go ahead and clean everything, clean the bathroom, clean the sink, the chairs, all that good stuff. And then I showered, got myself ready. And now my space is clean and my mind is clean and my heart is open to being able to do what I love to do. If you habit stack, it makes all of these other tasks just become a part of your daily routine. It becomes a part of you. I used to spend so much money on cleaning services, especially the ones that the influencers recommend. And they're like, "Oh, use my code, whatever." Like, I've been there, done that, okay? If you just habit stack, you can save money and improve your credit score and get the house of your dreams and all the things that we're going to be talking about in this next segment, because that's exactly what I did. I stopped paying for a cleaner. A shout out to my cleaner though. She was so amazing, but just trying to keep up with those monthly payments. I mean, that's money that you could keep in your pocket. You see what I'm saying? Now, if it's for convenience and you genuinely do not have the time and the money makes sense, fine. But if you are lazy and you just don't want to do it, well, then let's habit stack. And you shouldn't be able to watch a whole 3 seasons. Actually, I don't even know how many seasons are in Love Island. But you shouldn't be able to watch all of Netflix all day long and then the house looks a mess. No, baby, get up. Okay? If your house looks a mess and you're watching this video, pause, clean the house, come back, okay? So I say all that to say this first half of the year, like I said, it's just really focused on diet, nutrition, health, wellness, friends, family, relationship, and God. Like, God first, and then everything has really just followed. I think one thing that was really impactful for me was sitting down and just understanding where my relationship was with God through my relationship and how we prioritize God to guide us and to lead us and to, provide provision. And, if that's not the basis of your relationship, that's your relationship. I'm just letting you know that that has allowed for our foundation to be rock solid. So there's trust, there's accountability, there's love, there's patience, there's 1 Corinthians. Like, that's our relationship. And it's been so incredible, to have like my family very supportive and his family very supportive and our friends very supportive, and we have community in the relationship, and there's people looking out for us, and there's boundaries that we've created. But I think what's beautiful is that we have active community. It's not like we are siloed in this realm and like going through the motions or something. There's a community of people that really love on us and care about us, and I'm just so grateful for that. So I've been a little booed up, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm back on line, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Period. Okay, wait, stop. Let me get it together. I'm so excited. Like, I haven't done this in like forever, and I love doing this. So we are moving. I am settling on my new home July 8th. It is a brand new home, new construction. I am so excited about this experience, and I'm so excited to take you guys with me. I really think you're going to like this setup. I think you're going to love just like all the things that we're going to be doing in this new space. I am just so grateful that I get this opportunity to embark on this new journey. It definitely did not come easy. At a certain point, girl, I was like, how am I actually going to be able to afford a home ever in my entire life? Like 20% down, and I got to make sure that I got money if something breaks and this and that. Originally, we were thinking of getting a home that would be a fixer-upper, but it's not like HGTV. You can't just go out and like take out like a however many dollar loan and then supplement the remainder from the loan that maybe you didn't use to go renovate. You got to apply for a whole nother loan, all this other stuff, and we just weren't trying to do all that. So we went with new construction, and I'm excited about that because there's a little bit less that we have to worry about in terms of repairs, and it just kind of gives you a peace of mind. It's in a new, safe community. Like, you just feel good. I think if you're going to go on that home journey, you need to feel safe and secure wherever you're living. That's where you're going to be investing a lot of your time and money. So, you gotta like make sure that it's for you. And one thing I'll say is that there's so many home ownership programs that are available. If you're a teacher, if you are a veteran, if you are a first-time home buyer, if you have student debt, if there's so many things, like so many grants, so many opportunities, so many ways to get in. Just look up your state programs and you'll find a lot of different things that will help you gain home ownership quickly and affordably. So that process, I'm so excited, and feel free to ask me any questions that you have. I can break down really like anything that you would like in terms of how, I kind of saved up for the down payment, how I was able to decide which route I wanted to take. And I think it's just so exciting to have had the experience of living on my own for, a good portion of my early 20s, and also having the experience of having a roommate in college. So now I've had the opportunity to live by myself. I lived overseas for about 6 months. I studied abroad in Spain, in Alcalá de Henares, which is like a little city right outside of Madrid. And having those lived experiences really helped shape me to be, ready for home ownership. And if you haven't had those experiences of living on your own, I would highly, highly recommend that you at some point get your own spot, whether it's an apartment or like you're renting out a room from like a family friend, before you go and purchase a home. Like, make sure you know your boundaries, the things that you like in a home, the things that you do not like, all the things. We looked at homes that were like 10, 15 years old, and they were nice, but the concept that we would have to fix different things was just going to be too much work. So that's why we went with new construction. And the Maryland housing market is just like deplorable. Like, it's so overpriced, and you just got to get in where you fit in, child. You know what I'm saying? But saving up for the down payment was easy because I stopped spending money on frivolous things. I stopped eating out all the time. I stopped like buying random clothes that I wore once. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cut all the extra spending and I focused on my goals. And I said, okay, I want this by this time. How am I going to do it? So, I literally had a timeline because my lease was going to end next month. So I was like, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it now. I don't feel like extending my lease. Let's figure it out. So, if you want things in life, you've got to be disciplined and consistent in them. That's the whole point of this video, and that's really the whole point of life. It's about finding routines and habits that make sense to help you get to that next phase in your life, so you can really have enjoyment and love and ease, relaxation, right? Like, that's literally what we all want. But yeah, girl, family's good. Like, everything has been good. I am working with a kind of like not necessarily like a like a representation modeling agency, but I am working with like more of like a content creator agency, and you'll be seeing a little bit more content coming from them very soon. Now that is just like my full update. I really appreciate you being here. If this is your first time seeing me, if you've seen my previous videos, you know, I love everything about life right now. Everything is like really, really good. And I just appreciate all the support that I've been getting, all the like Instagram DMs, all the TikTok DMs, everybody just checking in, people stopping by, like my friends and my family. I love you all, and I'm so grateful. And I'm really excited to hear from you. Like, tell me the things that we should chat about. Tell me the things that you've been up to. Like, there's so many things that I've been seeing are kind of like hot topics right now. Obviously, things like, you know, becoming your best self and like developing more of like a feminine energy and how to become more feminine, how to embrace your femininity when there's like a lot of stress and anxiety in your life. You know, that's one thing that I definitely want to talk about, because at the end of the day, if you're under a lot of stress and you have a stressful work environment, you've got kids, you have so many things on your plate, it is so hard to step into this realm of femininity, especially if you're the breadwinner, especially if your partner's sick and like ill and can't mobilize. You have so many things to think about. And when you're stressed, it's very hard to flow, right? Because femininity is true flow and it's true organic existence, right? It's like very light and airy. And if you are weighed down, it's very hard to achieve. So that's why it's important to segment and compartmentalize your responsibilities. So that way, when you're at work, you're a boss babe, you're at work, you're killing it, you're doing your thing, you're closing deals, you're getting stuff done. And then when you come home, you shut that door off and you walk into that feminine energy and that feminine space. And I know sometimes you have to kind of bleed that energy over because maybe you still have work to do, or maybe you have obligations with your children, or, you know, there's things that are going to prevent you from constantly and consistently showing up in that feminine energy. But you owe it to yourself, especially if you're single, you owe it to yourself to show up the way that your highest level self would show up. Like, what would she do? Would she come home and just eat a bunch of junk food and like watch trash TV? Maybe. Or maybe she would come home, read her Bible, stretch, go work out, make a protein shake, make a healthy dinner, call her mom, check in, and get adequate sleep for the next day, take her vitamins and get adequate sleep for the next day. How would she show up? And how committed are you to showing up as her? Because that's the main thing. It's about how committed are you to taking accountability for where you need to grow. And it's not easy. If you're in a relationship and you have a partner that's willing to express his or her feelings and tell you what is on their mind, that's the golden ticket, because you have somebody that cares about you, that's directly expressing to you how you can help yourself improve, especially if they trust and if you trust in them and you care for them and you love them and you know that their perspective is worthwhile listening to, right? Because if you're in a situation that's toxic and manipulative, you might think that that advice is good, but in essence, it's not. How can you tell if someone is being controlling or manipulative or is a narcissist? Ask God. He will tell you yesterday. Like, I don't know how many times I had to ask God, please show me. Like, impart on me who this person is. Like, what is their true nature? And why are they doing what they're doing? Are they trying to hurt me? Like, and then he tells you, you know what I mean? It's up to you to have the discernment to listen and not just ignore signs and think that everything's okay when it's really not. Okay? So I'm going to wrap it up. That's the tea for today. Like I said, I love you and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for still being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for just being in this community. And I love you so much. This is so fun. I'll see you soon.